All right, so before we install the countertops, we have to make sure that there isn't any leaks in the plumbing that we've done for the washer. And so since that runs way up there, we've not pressure tested any of this stuff yet. So we've got a hose hooked up. We went and bought a safe drinking water hose, and we're gonna go ahead and leak test everything. So now we've got everything turned off, and so we'll turn things on slowly one by one and start checking for leaks everywhere, just to make sure we don't have any and that we're doing okay. So we're gonna go ahead and start that. We've already gone ahead and hooked this guy up, so he should be good to go. And we've got the water end hooked up over there, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it on. It shouldn't do much except compress the air in the system for now, so we'll see how it goes.
How is it? Okay, yeah, I saw water shoot through. Okay.
So we'll go in here, and then we'll go ahead and turn this filter on. No leaks.
So far, so good.
We'll check everything for leaks. So far, so good, yeah. Don't have any leaks. Okay, second filter. So that you can burp them. So do you see how there's air caught in it? And you can. Okay. All right.
Good.
Third filter, which will also push it all the way through now. It's over there. Purged.
Okay.
Okay.
So everything looks good back there?
Yep. So this, I don't feel any leaks. Okay.
So what do we need to open up next?
So next is on the other side,
The
city
city
water.
line? Okay. All right. So it's that one back there, right?
So city line is up here. Okay. Now, we should have water all the way to here, and then down through here. And so these guys are next. So that'll go to the manifold. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll do this one first. Okay, we've got water at the manifold. This is the one where there's no leaking there. There's no leaking on any of the valves. Okay, so this is next. Hot water. We're going through here. And going through here, up through here, and through there. There doesn't seem to be any leaking yet. Okay, should we go ahead and purge some air? So this
That's
is
the
here.
last one.
This is here. So now we've got water here. So you want to turn that on? Hear the air? Getting all the air worked out.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna turn on the valves to the washing machine, just make sure that we'll get water, that we're not leaking up there, so.
So do you want to check the line over here in the bathroom first?
Yeah, go ahead. Looks dry. How's that look?
Yeah, that's good.
Dry?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Check this too, I guess. Okay.
Okay, can you
Dry
see?
back there? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we'll dry back here. Yep.
All right, so let's turn this on.
No leaks.
No leaks back there?
No.
Okay, so we're good? Like that didn't leak?
That didn't seem to
So
leak.
should I... Is that just still air?
Yeah. Well, now it's water going in there.
I know, but did that like popping?
Yeah, that's just air in the line.
Just, okay, yeah, I see more water coming in. Okay. Should I turn it off and drain it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Is there a way to manually drain?
So yeah, there's a drain.
Okay. Start, I guess. Should suck out all the water, right? Yeah. Yep, that's draining. I guess we go check to see if we have drain leaks.
Is that going okay?
Yeah. So drains look good. We don't have any leaks. Stuff ended up in the tanks. Okay.
Do we want to go turn on the bathroom sink?
We can.
Okay. All right, bathroom sink is number 3. Yeah, it's number 3.
Okay.
Okay. Upstairs. You want to check down there?
It's not coming up through there, it's coming up through here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, looks good. I'm gonna turn these on.
Whoa.
Turn them on.
I don't know which way is on and which way is off. I think forward is off. Okay.
Okay, there, now I've got these on. No leaks down here.
Okay, that's cold water.
Yep. No leaks.
Okay, here's hot water.
We're definitely getting water in there. Okay, yeah, no leaks. All right, morning. So today we are going to be testing our water system again. So we did test it before, and what we tested was city water coming through these filter housings, going up through into our manifold distribution system, and then the big one we had to test was behind the washing machine because we were getting ready to put on countertops, and we wanted to make sure that that was all completely leak-free before we set everything in. So we did that, and in addition to that, we also had the little sink that's in the bathroom. We had that already plumbed in, so we decided, hey, why don't we just, test that as well, just turn on the water and see if it works. And it did work. So today is part 2 of our testing, where we'll be taking it through this manifold again, but instead of using city water to go in, we're going to go ahead and test our tank fill. So our tank fill is a little bit different in that it is a solenoid valve. So you can see it back here. And so we've temporarily rigged up some wiring And this is just some 10 gauge wiring that we had. And then just to the battery, it's a 12 volt solenoid. So we've just got some jumper cables on the battery. And so we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we've wired it up, and now when we click these together, we should hear that solenoid valve go click, click. So go ahead and go in, and let's see if we can hear it. Yes, so it appears to be working. So we decided, since we're gonna fill it, it would be a great time to test out our SeeLevel. And so we have not hooked this up yet, so we're gonna be temporarily hooking this up as well, just to see if the numbers come up and more or less correspond with the tank level that we're getting just by looking at the side of the tank. So we'll be doing that as well. All right, so we're up here, and these are all of the wires that are coming to the SeeLevel connector. So there's 4 wires, and then there's a small little wiring loom that corresponds to those, and we've color matched all the cables. And so what we'll do is we have these little Wago connectors, and we'll just go ahead and temporarily mount them in there, and that should be good enough to get us power, and we should be able to see the screen light up and say there's 0% water. So we'll try that. So red to red. Okay, so now this little guy's in here, so this can only go in one way, just like that. All right, so we figured out that you have to calibrate the display, and fortunately it's pretty easy. So what we do is we hold down the tank that we want to do. So we need to program it so it has 2 senders. We've already done this, but we're going to go over it because we'll probably have to reference this video again if we install these. So anyway, we hold down the fresh for about 5 seconds. Then hold down battery, so you hold them both and it'll say DIA, and then after about 5 seconds, it'll enter a mode where it says FRS. So this means 2 senders. If you press fresh again, that's 1 sender. So we have 2 senders on every tank. So you change that to 2, so it says 2 SE, 2 senders, and then you hit battery. Now when we go back to fresh, we see 0. So that's what we expect. So we already did that same procedure in black, and in black we have 6% because we have dumped some water in the black tank. We ran some washing machine to test that out, and we also ran water through the little sink in here. So there should be some water in the black tank, and there is. So that looks like it's working. So we're gonna go ahead now and start to check for leaks, start to do the fill on the tanks. All right, so the water is now pressurized into here. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to bypass these because we've already tested these for leaks and they passed. So I'm going to bypass these. And so what that's going to do is it's going to allow the water to go just through the top and not necessarily have to go through the bottom. So I'll do that. This is number 2. So now we're also kind of we're testing the bypass valves. So we've got 1, 2. Okay, so we'll take the air out of them. Okay, so now we should have water ready to go in the tank. So now we'll go ahead and hook this guy up. And there it goes. So water is now flowing into the tank. So we should be able to go around the other side and see it go in. Let me see if I can turn my light on. You can kind of see it at the bottom, I think.
I don't know if it's high enough yet. There's probably like a 1/2 inch or an inch below our viewport, so it might take a minute.
It's definitely going in there. Let's go check the level. So supposedly our fresh is at 13%. So, see, I don't know how often it updates. So, I wonder if that dot just keeps it on. 15%. So it is filling, and it is seeing that water is going up. 17,
should we go see if we can
19,
see anything?
Yeah, 19%. We should be able to see something.
I guess, I mean, is it that?
I don't know.
I mean, that makes sense.
Let me bring out that more powerful
We're right
light.
there. I can kind of see it. Not very well.
All right, so we think we've got it to about 50%, judging from the window on the other side. And so we'll go ahead and turn it off. So I'm just gonna unplug that. And so we can hear that the water's no longer flowing. This is all still under pressure, but the water's no longer flowing into the tank. All right, so if we look real close, we can see that the water level is about here. So that's about half full, we think. And so we'll check the monitor and make sure it's working. So it should say roughly 50%. How long did that take?
Oh, not very long at all.
Okay.
I don't know, 5-10 minutes?
10 minutes?
The most?
Okay.
I don't know. It was not very
It
long.
didn't take very long.
Yeah, 10 minutes maybe.
Okay. So we put a light in there just to kind of help to see the contrast. All right, so we'll check our panel. And whoop, it's exactly 50%. So there we go, 50% on the fresh tank, and then the black tank is still at 6%. We're gonna go ahead and try the pump. We've never tried it before. Also, this kind of pump needs priming. So we're gonna have to open a little screw at the top, get a little funnel, and put water into the main tank because it needs to be primed in order to start sucking water in. All right, so as I was saying earlier, because these pipes come up above the pump, then come down and go over, it's gonna need to be primed the very first time we use it, which we've never turned this on before. After this first time, even when the thing runs out of water, because of the way we've done it, it should not need to be primed again. It should hold its prime, and this little guy should turn it off when it runs out of water. So we've put so much water in there, we probably can't test that. But anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn these on. So
Is the pump plugged in?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So this will be turned on, and then we'll turn this one on. And so we should see the water come out through there. And then we'll go ahead and open this guy. So for future me, this is a 14 millimeter. So when I go back, so you can see the water coming up right here. So it'll go to the same level as the tank. So there, so it'll sit at 50%, and so will this one. So we see it right here.
Yep.
So it's at 50%. So now what we're gonna do is, we got this little funnel, and hopefully I don't make a mess, but we're gonna try to pour in some water. Yep, there. Sorry about that. Now it's gonna be hard to tell if we have leaks. All right, so we think we've primed it. We poured in a whole 32-ounce thing of water into here, and you can kind of see the water a little bit in here. So I think there's enough there to prime it. So we're gonna go ahead and plug it in. So this is, we've never plugged this in, so we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. And here we go. So it should build up to the pressure and then stop. Okay, it's on. So I don't see it sucking. Okay, so it doesn't, yeah, so there's not enough. We didn't prime it enough.
Take two.
Take two. All right, so note to future self, turkey baster was small enough to fit in there and get in there a little bit better, and then this made it less messy. And almost 2 of these cups, so almost 2 32-ounce cups. And I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up, and we'll give it another go. Okay, that's tight. So we'll put this to the side, and we can see the levels right here. So hopefully those rise. There it goes. Yep, it's going. You can see it sucking water in, and you can hear it. Well, we've got our first leak. Okay, good. That is now at 60% or 60 psi. So that's as fast as it went. So it only went to here. So it's pumped up through, down, in here, went through this little regulator and in through this pipe, and this pipe is now, we have a valve here that stops it. And so there is a check valve built into the pump that makes sure that the water doesn't leak back down. And so it should hold 60 psi until there's a demand, and then the pump will kick back on. So that's the settings right now, I think are between 40 and 60 psi. So it will let this drop down all the way to 40 before the pump kicks on and tries to bring it all the way back up to 60. Once it reaches 60, it should turn it off. As we saw before, when there wasn't enough water in here to prime it, what will happen is the pump will actually turn off, and there's a little failure LED that will turn on, and that did come on. And then to restart it, you just push the button and it'll restart it. That should be that. We do have a small leak here. So I'm gonna have to put some, I'm gonna have to torque this down a little bit more. So luckily this is a coupling, and so we'll be able to loosen that up, tighten this one up. It doesn't look like we have leaks anywhere else. So, and in fact, that one looks like it's settled down. So we'll keep an eye on that just to see if we have any more leaks. Anyway, we'll go ahead and turn this on, and what that should do is drop the pressure, so the pump should actually come back on, and that will go to the manifolds. So it is leaking. Okay, so now we've pressured that part of it now. And we saw as soon as that came on, the pump came on for the demand and then turned back off. So we do have a leak there for sure. So that validated that. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten that up, but that's not a major leak, so we won't worry about it right now. But we will go ahead and on the other side, we'll test the hose bib to see what kind of pressure we're getting out of it. All right, since we have an outdoor shower over here, we'll just test it over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on our outdoor shower at the manifold. So we'll be able to hear a little bit of creaking there. So there we go. So now we should have pressure at our outdoor manifold. So here's cold water. And so that should turn off after it kind of builds back up to 60 psi. So here's hot water. So it'll have some bubbles in it. And the reason this is so slow flow is because these are regulated down to be slow flow water heads. So we'll turn them both on. And so there we go. All right, so everything seems to be working the way we designed it. We have nice pressure outside. We've got nice pressure at all the faucets and the outside shower. We have one leak that we're gonna fix right now, and then we'll retest. But it's gone pretty well, so we're gonna call it a success.